Good morning, everybody. This is another session, another webinar from the CDEP's Academic Education Network. Today with us, we have Dr. Deepshikha from the School of Engineering and Material Science at Queen Mary University of London. She's a chemist, I believe, Deepshikha.
Yeah,
And today, today she's going to talk to us about empowering educators with AI-driven grading and personalized feedback. It's an innovative approach and tool that she has developed with her colleagues at Queen Mary. Uh, the floor is yours, Deepshikha. Whenever you're ready, you may start your presentation. Thank you.
thank you, Antonios. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. Myself, Dr. Deepshikha. I am from School of Engineering and Material Science, Queen Mary University of London. So my expertise, my PhD is in chemistry and postdoctorate in materials chemistry. So I teach chemistry, nanotechnology, and material science courses at Queen Mary. But my scholarship is focused on AI in education, particularly AI in assessment and feedback. So, my presentation today is focused on the exciting frontier in education, which is empowering educators with artificial intelligence. This is not just about like implementing new technology, it is about enhancing the way we provide feedback and conduct assessments to better serve both the educators and students. So, in this talk, I will discuss why feedback is so central to learning, the challenges the educators face in delivering the high quality feedback, and how AI is beginning to transform the assessment. And finally, I will introduce EduMark AI, which is an educator controlled AI assisted marking system which is developed at Queen Mary. First of all, the purpose of feedback, as Hetty and Timperley describe, that is to bridge the gap between a student's current understanding and the desired level of performance. This gap represents the difference between where the students are now and where we want them to be. In other words, the effective feedback that is not only highlight the areas for improvement, but also give students the tools and direction they need to reach the next level. So the research by these scientists suggests that effective feedback that revolve around three questions. Where am I going? Feed up, which addresses the intention, the goal, or the aim of the piece of work and learning. How am I going? Feedback that provides the reference to how that student is doing in relation to the goal or objective. And where to next? That is feed forward. So this feed forward question that can have some of the most powerful impacts on learning. A simple change in the terminology, I would say, with students can be a powerful thing. Okay, now let's bring this discussion back to grading. Let me give you the example from one of my module that I teach at Queen Mary, which is materials chemistry. The end of semester exam has more than 160 students in that module. For each student, we aim to provide specific, positive, goal-referenced, actionable feedback that help them to understand where they did well and what they need to improve on. So does it sound simple, right? But as we all know, achieving this level of personalized feedback for each student, it is incredibly challenging for educators. Okay, so there are key persistent challenges educators they face in traditional grading and feedback processes. First, the large student cohorts significantly increase the marking workload for educators, while the need to support the diverse learner needs that demands tailored feedback that's often difficult to deliver at scale. Educators are also managing the rising academic responsibilities, making grading a time consuming task that competes with teaching and research. As well as human led marking can introduce the subjective biases, specifically when the judgment is based on the human perspective. And feedback often arrives too late to support the timely learning. For example, when the students sit exam and when we provide feedback to them, there is a significant time lag between these things. So that negatively impact the student learning and they become dissatisfied. So this is where AI comes in. Artificial intelligence is a powerful tool and becoming an integral part of educational development. So this is a kind of transformative educational journey from traditional methods to the modern potential of artificial intelligence. The future of education with AI tools, it looks promising, offering opportunities for enhancement as well as for innovation. AI is making substantial progress in higher education, supporting both educators and students across the various domains like adaptive learning, gamified learning engagement, academic research, assessment, analyzing student success metrics, data and learning analytics. So, particularly in assessment, this is where we see substantial innovation. So AI can assist with automated scoring, plagiarism detection, and feedback generation. So these applications show how AI can assist us in creating a more personalized, efficient, and engaging educational environment. By leveraging AI, we can better meet the needs of each student and create a richer learning experience for them. Gen AI has brought us a game changing tool in education. It is a kind of a 24-hour personal assistant for every educator. So, this AI assistant is not here to replace us, but to support us in some of the most time consuming tasks that we face. One of the primary way AI can help us is with the grading and feedback. By automating the parts of grading process, AI allow us to provide consistent, timely, constructive feedback without getting overwhelmed by the volume of work. While AI offers many benefits in grading and feedback, but we should notice that there are some important considerations when using AI for grading to ensure we use it responsibly. So these considerations, they include ensuring the high quality guidance and rubric alignment, avoiding the biases in AI models, then handling both objective and subjective assignments carefully, protecting the student data privacy, ensuring that the educators, they don't lose insight into the students learning. So these considerations highlight that why AI must be implemented responsibly and transparently. So these considerations, they remind us that while AI is a powerful tool, it is not a substitute for the human element in education. So we need to keep a balance between the efficiency of AI with with empathy and then insight that educators bring to the learning processes. To address some of the concerns with AI in grading, we proposed an approach called guided grading. Rather than allowing AI to grade student work on its own, guided grading involves educators actively directing the AI by providing additional context and content. So that includes, for example, detailed marking rubric, the examples of different quality level of work, and examples of personalized feedback. So by providing this guidance, then AI becomes a structured assistant rather than autonomous decision maker. So this method combines the efficiency of AI with educator insight ensuring that while AI does the heavy lifting, but still the final output reflect the teacher's standards and judgment. A useful way to think about AI assisted grading is 80-20 rule. AI can perform roughly 80% of the repetitive work, such as analyzing responses and generating the draft feedback. The remaining 20% remains the educator's responsibility. Educator review, edit, refine, personalize the feedback as per his or her own perspective. So this ensures that the final judgment always remains human controlled. So by following this balance, we let AI enhance the efficiency while still ensuring that each piece of feedback is authentic and tailored to individual student learning needs. The guided grading provides several benefits. It combines the efficiency of AI with the expertise and judgment of educators. It is huge time saver for educators. So this approach helps ensure the fairness, transparency, consistency, and academic integrity. Most importantly, it allows the educators to remain fully in control of the final grading decisions. So the work that now I will discuss that was supported by Draper's Fund for Innovation in Learning and Teaching at Queen Mary University of London. So that project, we secured funding for this project in 2024-25, and we are a team of 6 faculty members across the university from different campuses, China campus, London campus, and from different disciplines. So this initiative supports the innovative projects that enhance the teaching and learning through the new technologies and pedagogical approaches. So through this funding, we developed and evaluated an AI-assisted marking system, which is called EduMark AI. EduMark AI, which is the name of our project. So it is a cutting edge tool designed to revolutionize the grading and feedback. The goal of this project is to harness the power of AI for grading and personalized feedback to support the learning process of students and ultimately saving the educators a significant amount of time. The project EduMark AI follows a hybrid human AI model. This model preserves educator judgment while benefiting from AI automation. This is designed to support educators in generating the structured feedback and rubric aligned draft grades. So the system aims to improve the feedback clarity, enhance the consistency across the large cohorts, and reduce the time required for grading. And importantly here, the system that we developed, that was the co-creation, co-development with the educators as well as with the students, so as to ensure the transparency and the ethical AI use. We conducted an educator needs assessment to understand the grading challenges. So what we have understood from the analysis of the survey, the results, they shown that there is a clear workload burden. 74% of the educators, they spend around 10 to 30 minutes grading each student submission, resulting in the high assessment workload, which is a rating of 4.04 out of 5. Many also reported that the trade-off between the feedback quality and the time. Many respondents, they also reported that providing the detailed actionable feedback often requires many hours of marking. At the same time, educators, they are also open to support from AI. So 70% they expressed interest in AI assisted, AI supported marking, and they also emphasize 76% the need for human in the loop approach. So where educators can review or edit the AI outputs. The most valuable AI features that were the reducing marking time, highlighting student strength and weaknesses, and improving grading consistency across the large cohorts. So these insights directly informed the design of EduMark AI as a human-guided grading system. Then we also evaluated the reliability of AI supported grading. We conducted a consistency analysis comparing the AI assisted draft grading with the educator grading. The results are promising here. So distribution curves and correlation plots here, they show strong alignment between AI and the educator marks. The scatter plot too shows a strong positive correlation between the educator marks and EduMark AI marks, while some deviation occurs at the lower end and the higher end, but overall alignment is quite promising. The most differences, as you can see in the chart 3, that fall within plus minus 10 marks with a central average near zero, which indicates the reliability. Chart 4 shows the slight underprediction in the 50 to 69% range of the marks and overprediction above the 80%, which we already addressed through the prompt refinement, adjusting the score scaling algorithms, and incorporating the educator validation layers to calibrate these tendencies. So overall, the analysis supports the human in the AI loop approach, where AI assists with the initial analysis, while educators retain the full control over the final grading decisions. In addition to our technical and statistical evaluations, we also collected direct student feedback to understand learner experiences with the AI supported feedback through EduMark AI. So students, they reported that the feedback was clear, structured, helpful in identifying the specific areas for improvement. In addition to the rating, the AI generated feedback as useful and consistent, the students, they highlighted the clarity and specificity of the comments. They appreciated that EduMark feedback identified exact areas for improvement, offered the concrete examples of errors, and provided actionable guidance to achieve higher marks. So this level of detail made it easier for them to understand their mistakes and help them see a clear path towards improvement. So more than 90% students, they said they would recommend using this system in other modules as well. So this highlights the potential of AI to enhance not only the educator efficiency, but also the student learning experiences. Overall, the impact that has been positive for both educators and students. For educators, we observed more than 60% reduction in marking time, improved consistency in rubric application, and reduced marking fatigue. And for students, the benefit included faster feedback turnaround, clearer guidance for improvement, and more consistent grading across the cohort. So here there is a workflow how the EduMark AI works. It works basically in two ways. First, as a standalone application where educators, they can download and upload the assignments and receive AI generated draft feedback and indicative scores. Okay. And second is it can be also integrated with the LMS, allowing the feedback generation directly within the existing system assessment workflows. And this flexibility allows institutions to adopt the system gradually and responsibly. Okay, so in the next section, now I will briefly demonstrate how EduMark AI works in practice. So this demonstration will show how an educator can upload a student submission, apply a rubric, and generate structured feedback within minutes. The educator always reviews and approves the feedback before it is being released to students. So let me stop sharing here the PPT, and then I will again share my screen. Okay, so that's the app here, app.edugradeai.com, and this is the front landing page. And on this page, you can see the several tabs as I have created for different modules. So once like we want to start with the grading, so we need to start on the right hand side option button here, which shows start new marking. So let me press this option, and then a new page will appear here. So it asks for some of the things that we need to upload to the system. So first of all, the module title or the code. For example, I will put it as demo, but you can input your module code or the module name here. And then it asks to upload the question paper or the instructions. So, okay, so let me find out. So I am uploading the practical lab report instructions to the system, and then the rubric, the mark scheme. So the laboratory report rubric is here. So it will upload that one. And then we can select from the different assessment options here. So in this case, particularly, I am going to upload the lab reports. So I select this lab report option, but you can select the other options depending upon the type of assessment you are going to grade with this. So lab report is selected, and then you can also select the marking level, whether you need the lenient, moderate, or strict marking. So for the time being, I am selecting here moderate one, and then view. So the feedback view, whether the bullet form or the paragraph form, you can select here. So I'm selecting paragraph, and feedback short or the long. So I'm selecting short. And then we have the two options below to upload the answer sheets. Either you can upload the answer sheet one by one for every student, okay? Or you can have another option for the upload, batch upload for the all the students all together. So let's use this option, upload folder. And I select this folder for the lab report assessments of students, and then it will ask me whether to upload all the files. So then I select upload, and it will upload all the student assessment, the student work here. And then you have the custom instruction box here if you want to provide some custom instructions to AI, like be consistent with the marking. Sometimes some the AI may hallucinate, so you can put your custom instructions don't infer any missed content, and yeah, so any instruction, any custom instruction that can be put here. And then once the files are uploaded, then we press submit button here. Okay, so now we have this tab created, which is demo. And if we go to the view option, so it will show us the number of the assessments that I uploaded, and the status it is showing in quick. And after some time, it will then start marking. Okay, so let me, okay, so let's wait here. Please bear with me. And in the meantime, I can also show you some of the options that we have here. So we have the option to select either OpenAI, Azure OpenAI, or Gemini as the LLM. Okay, currently it is Gemini is being selected. So currently this option is not given to users, but users can ask us whether which platform they want to use. Accordingly, we can set them for them. And yeah, so let's go back to the marking tab. Now it shows the marking status. So reports are being marked now. And after the reports, they will be marked, then you will be able to see the scores here. I think it will not take much time here. And then once the reports are marked, then we have the download options to download the reports, either the summary report or the detailed report in the Excel format. Okay, so now all of these, they are being marked here. And now one by one, we can view the details for every report. Let's open it. So the side by side, it will open up two windows. So one is you can see on the left hand side, the question file, the instructions that I have uploaded to AI, and then the rubric file that I uploaded in the second. And then third one is the student submission, the lab report. And on the right hand side, then you can see it starts with overall feedback for student, overall suggestion, how to improve further, and then it will provide criteria by criteria feedback. So it starts with introduction and technique. That was the first criteria. Then procedure, results, interpretation, presentation, language, grammar. Okay. So you can see the level of detail of feedback here. And then the educator has the option to change the feedback as per his perspective. So the feedback can be changed here, as well as the scores can be increased or decreased. So depending upon the choice of educator. Okay. And once educator is happy with all the options and with the feedback and the scores, and then the educator need to press this save and mark as verified button. Okay. So once it is verified, so then you can go back and it will show the status verified. Yeah, so it is there. So the report, that means now the educator has an oversight on the feedback, draft feedback, and indicative scores. And if you want to remark any of the assessment again, then you are also having that option to remark the assessment. Okay. And then as I have shown, so there are two options to download the reports. One is the summary report, which will provide you only that the total student marks, as well as the feedback, overall suggestion and overall feedback. But if you download the detailed report, it will provide you the each criteria feedback, then overall feedback as well for every student. So currently in the standalone app, the educators need to copy and paste from the Excel sheet into their LMS. Okay. But once in the QMUL, we are in discussion with the management to integrate this with the QM Plus, which is our LMS. So then it will be very easy for the educators to work in that platform with EduMark AI. Okay. And yeah, so I think that's the all about this EduMark AI actual live demonstration. Let me stop sharing here. And yeah, so to conclude, I would say that AI offers significant opportunities to support educators in assessment and feedback. However, there is a need for responsible implementation, which is very much essential. The goal is not to automate teaching, but to empower educators with tools that enhance efficiency, consistency, and student learning. So I hope that this overview of AI has provided valuable insights into potential of AI-driven grading and personalized feedback to enhance our educational practices. So thank you very much for your attention and engagement throughout this presentation. So I would be happy to take any questions or discuss your thoughts on integrating AI in education. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Deepshikha, for the very detailed presentation and the demo. The floor is open for questions. If you have a question or a comment, please raise your hand and I will give you the floor. Ben?
Yeah, it's just sort of you kind of demonstrating kind of the front end of how it worked, which was quite nice. Does it just sort of send the documents to Gemini and say, please mark it? Is that kind of how it works, or is there? I'm interested. Did you train the AI? Did you get a data set of stuff, or are you just using a publicly available LLM to sort of generate the marks?
Yeah, let me clarify here. So once initially when we started with this project, so we directly work on the LLMs, different LLMs. We compared them, and then we have like chosen one or two LLMs where we will work with them. And then we uploaded each and everything to the LLMs, and then we try to calibrate the systems by providing some examples and good feedback, different levels of feedback, work examples from student submissions. But then we thought, why not to make a app which is user friendly, easy to use for the educators. And then we worked on the prompts and we refined our prompts, and now our prompt is very efficient, which is there in the app. And now we have the three options to use different APIs, either the OpenAI directly APIs or the through Azure or through the Gemini. So we can select the different LLMs from there, and accordingly it will use that ones for marking.
And if you send it to all three of them, does it give you different marks?
Not much difference. The difference is there, but not much.
Yeah, I just I've sort of experimented with trying getting
Yeah.
LLMs to market, and it seems to be quite variable. So I guess sort of there's a lot of prompt engineering involved somewhere behind the scenes that you've done. So that's
Yeah.
interesting.
So yeah, we did a lot of work on the prompt engineering, and then we made this system, this EduMark AI app. So
Okay,
yeah,
thanks.
yeah.
Thank you, Catherine.
Hi, thank you. I enjoyed that and found it very interesting. Partly because I'm a chemist by origin, and it's rarely covered in such detail here at Brunel. Um, I suppose I should also say my background is a lot of correspondence tuition. So some of these numbers that you are citing to me about things taking what amount of time for educators, my question would be, well, how long should it take when a student has put that effort in? Um, I think I always see every single assessment as a development opportunity for our students. And one thing about chemistry, and I'm sure many of the other disciplines in here, is that often feedback is given on the points that you didn't intend it to. So for example, here I noticed, and maybe you can explain to me a bit more how you might adjust for this. The feedback was on the process of writing the report. This one happened to be about melting points. I would also be looking at it, well, if they're 5 degrees out, it's not just about how it was written, but I could be telling them something about the practical skills that they need to develop. Did you look at the purity? What did it look the color you expected? How did you do that melting point? Did you really notice that complete liquefaction? So that would just be my concern or question is how can you then pick up those additional teaching points that maybe aren't covered in the original rubric, which to me are essential for a chemist to develop those skills. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And even I tried on my chemistry assessment. So what I found, it gives a very detailed feedback. It doesn't only stick with the rubric only, but it provides it's like very detailed feedback if the student has used the wrong quantities of chemicals or whether they have used the right temperature or not. So it said like in the introduction part, you are missed this thing, your principle is not so good, you need to add this thing, that thing, add references, cite them properly. So it is very much detailed. If you will see system how it provide the feedback, it is very much detailed, I can say. So it is, I think it is much better than us, than educators. So the level of the feedback, that is great. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. That's interesting to hear. I also sort of always feel that assessment is the chance to have the conversation with the students. So it's nice to see that there is still that, it does still rely on the educator to look through that and maybe pick up areas where they can improve, where they've not taught as well as they thought they did. Thank you.
Federico?
Yes, thank you, Deepshikha. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I had to miss the beginning. So if you've said this already, apologies. I'm going to ask anyway. So where do you stand in relation to the risk of losing the human touch, or the students perceiving that the human touch is lost in the feedback? I'm thinking about feedback sounding too unintended robotic, to automated, to streamlined, without the personal element that will make the engagement more clear. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So that's the point here, that we are not saying it is 100% automation. So always human in the loop is there. So when the system provides draft feedback and indicative scores, so educator needs to review, edit, refine as per his or her own perspective. So there is always a human touch. Okay, so before the feedback and scores being released to the students, and even like when we started, we did the educator need assessment survey as well as with the student survey. From that analysis, we found that the students, they like this kind of feedback. Even they are want to implement this kind of system in the other modules, they like it. But some of them, they also raised this kind of things, like they prefer teacher feedback in comparison to the AI feedback. But there we need to tell them, we need to train them, we need to provide them such skills and training where they can understand, like it is not the whole automation, all automated things, but it is the hybrid human AI loop. Okay, so where always the human touch is there, and human is responsible before releasing and giving feedback and scores to students. Yeah. So
So you're saying that there will be initiatives in place also to raise awareness of the students of
yeah,
how
it is
things are being done.
yeah, in Queen Mary, so we have the skill sessions as well as the training sessions with the students. So
Right.
this week was
So
the
they will
SCAMP
know.
week.
They will
Yeah,
know.
yeah, they would know. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thanks.
Rafik?
Yeah, thank you. Based on your evaluation of different models, did you see any appropriateness for a different type of work in terms of design or engineering or business, and in terms of the OpenAI or Gemini, different LLM model, do they have a different behaviors and being more suitable for one to another?
Yes. So basically, our work was more focused on the STEM-based modules. But what we have seen when we compared the different models like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude together, so there was the number of I can say the prompts we can send to the LLMs, but that was 2 years back when we started. So there was a limit on the number of tokens we can send to LLM, as well as the file variability. Not all kind of files we can upload there. So at that time, we selected to start with ChatGPT first because it was good in terms of efficiency, file variability, and the cost as well. So we started with ChatGPT, but then we side by side also compared, like by uploading the student work into the different LLMs, and we found that the variability in the feedback is not so much, but the scores were, there was high variation between the scores from different LLMs. So that we found the feedback level was okay, but the scores variation was there.
So from your finding is that, do you have any sort of recommendation in what works well for a certain type of work and where it finds difficult to some of the creative work areas?
So now I would say like these AI systems, they are keep on evolving. So these things, I think now they are much better. They are being resolved. So now we have found in our app that now the scores are matching with the educator's perspective, educator grading. And if we compare the other LLMs, now there is not much variation. So every LLM is now quite good. Yeah.
Have you, sorry to extend this, have you tried with the visual artifacts? Like, for example, in our design, we do have a digital design, we have a visual artifacts and on those where you get certain feedback. So you haven't tried with the visual artifacts?
We tried different files, different assessment types like the posters and the exams, lab reports, coursework presentations, and yeah, so the different kind of things, as well as we also tried some of the assessments which have the different coding file as well as their coursework file. So we uploaded them, then we have seen that it is very much capable to read them and assess them efficiently. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think Deepshikha, isn't the demo available for people to try it if they wish?
Yeah, I have
Or not?
already shared, I think, the link with
Okay.
the with you. I think you have all the links and the website and the
Okay.
app link. And but I can also share. So would it be okay if I share here in the chat the website link?
Either here or after the presentation,
Yeah.
you can send us your slides and further information that we can circulate.
Okay.
Yes, we have more questions. Noor?
Thank you, Deepshikha, for your talk. It was really very detailed and really good application. I wanted to ask you a different question, specifically about have you taken into account the privacy implications of sharing with LLMs the work of students? And are there any legal implications or that you had to take into account? For example, here in Brunel, we are advised not to share assessments with an LLM. So I was wondering, how did you take into account these considerations?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So same is here at Queen Mary. So we have AI approved tools where we can input the student work, but not to every LLM. So in our case, like EduMark AI, so currently we are in the process of taking different approvals from different departments, like I would say it is the information security, compliance, and then data protection and impact assessment, as well as ITS approval. So there are many things ongoing. So once we get all of these things done, then we would be able to integrate our system into the university system. So they're like it is fully compliant and then fully legally compliant, and then it will be all good to go with the university systems. And one thing is there, then when we started with this project, we also taken the ethical approval from University Research Ethics Committee. So only then we started our work. So we are fully compliant, yeah, with everything, yeah.
Thank you.
Some very good point from Cecilia in the chat here. So if you are to try this tool at some point, please use dummy data and not actual student data, unless, of course, you have obtained permission from the students. Just want to make sure that that's understood.
Yeah, so I would say here, like the student data that we uploaded, that is with their consent. We have taken consent from students first, only then we uploaded the data. And even when we uploaded the data, there is a system in the app which will pseudo anonymized all the assessment, the files, and then it will assess them.
Excellent. I'm just repeating it here because it's a very good point for those of us here who wish to try the tool at some point. Diana.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for your presentation. The way you have demonstrated how educators could benefit from Gen AI in assessment and feedback, I just want to raise or ask you in relation to that students also use Gen AI for their work. And most of the time now what we see is the work is generated by Gen AI that we read or we assess. So does your tool kind of highlight how much of that was created by Gen AI?
So currently we are working on that, not now, but in the future we will have such functionality where it can detect any kind of plagiarism, or if the student has used Gen AI to complete his or her work. So probably in the near future we will add that functionality. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any more questions from Deepshikha? Ferdus.
Yes, hi, thanks a lot for presenting the app. So I have a question. So is there any restriction about the amount of the files that we are uploading each time for the marking?
So as I think we can upload up to 400 files together for
Okay,
student
okay.
submissions. Yeah.
For any kind of assessment. So
Yes.
regardless the type of the assessment, it can do up to 400 students.
Yes, yes. For any kind of assessment, we can upload all together up to 400.
Nice. And I have another question. So with the evaluation of all these large language models, OpenAI, Chat, and Gemini, have you also updated your tool?
Yeah, so because we are using the APIs from these LLMs, so these APIs are different from the current models that are available for the public use. So yeah, so we are using the latest ones.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much.
Any more questions? I have one, if I may, Deepshikha. So I want to ask you about the institutional adoption by Queen Mary. You mentioned that you're thinking about integrating them with your LMS. So in order to do that, to legitimize that adoption within the institution, what does it take? Have you heard any voices from either academics or from quality assurance or from any of the stakeholders that are against this, or some sort of critical voices that you might want to consider in order before you decide to integrate it in your LMS?
Yeah, so I would say here, like there are kind of mixed reactions. So, but we can't deny that AI is now everywhere. So we can't deny its use in assessment, feedback, grading. So it is here. It is not be like going anywhere. So we need to be like open-minded and embrace AI. So we need to discuss, we need to talk with the people like how to use it responsibly, ethically, transparently. So that's the thing. Okay. So it needs some time, but yeah, some people they favor, but some they still have some questions, but we need to address all of these accordingly. Yeah. So in Queen Mary, so I have several sessions with different stakeholders because we are currently in the process of integrating this with the QM Plus, our LMS Moodle platform. So yeah, so these things, these questions are there, but we need to be open-minded, I would say.
Thank you. Thank you, Deepshikha. Any more final questions for our guest? Stephen.
Yeah, I just want to ask a final question. I mean, this one is also tied to the question someone asked about training the model, right? Because these systems, like you said, they rely on APIs. And some of these models, you also mentioned that they do hallucinate a lot, right? So
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I mean, if you are using the API direct, what are the plans? I mean, how do you integrate and ensure that those hallucinations are not included?
Yeah, so here, initially when we did every work like using the different LLMs, then the hallucinations were high at that time. But when we worked on our prompt, and our prompt is now the best one, and it is there in the app working at the back end. So now we have seen that there are not much hallucinations. Okay, sometimes there is some hallucination in terms of like I would say like units are wrong, or sometimes some value is wrong sometimes. So there are minor things, but most of the time the feedback, the grades, now they are good.
Okay. I mean, just a follow-up question to that. I mean, do you, instead of just using prompts, do you plan in the long term, for example, integrating agents, AI agents, because they are more kind of, if you train the agents correct properly, I think they are more likely to kind of deal a little bit with those hallucinations.
Yeah, so we will keep on working on the prompt as
Okay.
the LLMs will evolve. So accordingly, we will see what are the best options, and then we will include them, integrate them in our prompt. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay. Well, in that case, thank you so much, Deepshikha. I'm just gonna stop the recording now. And thank you